Let's get it cracking, YouTube. What's good, world? It's your boy Mastermind Man, and this is the May 2022 weekday drop. Listen, man, this has been an exciting week so far in gaming. A lot has been going on. Things have just been running so fast. But before we begin the show, y'all be sure to follow your boy, man. Follow me everywhere, Master23Mind, Twitch, where I'm gaming live at, and Mastermind RGTV podcast on all platforms. All platforms. And listen, man, let's jump right into it. Big shout out to Connect.club because we've been doing a lot of connection and meeting a lot of great people there, and a lot of great things has been happening. But that's another note. We're going to come back to that. Like pay to play is something that's on the top. I got my board over here. Pay to play is on my top list to kind of speak about. But that's a deep conversation into crypto, and we're going to just dive right into a bunch of this stuff, man. It's been so much stuff happening in gaming. I haven't been able to keep up with a lot of this stuff, man, because being in the metaverse and dealing with cryptocurrency and whatnot, and a lot of this stuff on Web3, I've been kind of dealing with these things, and being here in the podcast world, just trying to catch up with a lot of stuff that's happening in gaming, like what Square Enix is doing. Listen, we're going to talk about it, man. Let's jump right into it. So y'all know how E3 is canceled or whatnot. So there's no more E3 this year. So usually, typically, we get E3, May, around this is the month that E3 come about. That's why you may see a bunch of your gaming influencers maybe posting a lot of E3 pictures or whatnot. Because E3, RIP to E3. E3 is no longer here, but we still get some stuff, man. So check this. Xbox Bethesda Showcase is happening on June the 12th. Remember on the last podcast I was telling y'all about Summer's Game Fest. So the Summer's Game Fest is basically something you want to keep your eye on, because now we have no E3. Summer Game Fest is going to be where it's at. So we got Xbox Bethesda throwing some type of showcase on June the 12th. That's going to be pretty interesting to see. Rumors that we may be seeing a PlayStation showcase event also around that time. So keep your eyes open, man, because we may, if PlayStation come out and show something around June during the Summer's Game Fest or a little bit after or before, we know they're going to come out and do something, because there's some more E3. So we're going to get something in the month of May and in June also. But this is going to be important, because we may be able to see the new God of War. If we get a sneak peek of the new God of War, I think it's going to be something that's going to really solidify the PlayStation fans to where, hey, this is what we wanted to see, because I think everyone is anxious for God of War, and right now we're still set to for the game to be released still this year. So pretty pumped about that, you know what I'm saying? And if we can get some type of sneak peek, oh man, this is going to be amazing. Not really sure what Bethesda is going to do with Xbox. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they're going to, do their thing. Of course, by them now being under the Xbox umbrella or whatnot, Xbox purchasing these guys being under the umbrella. So, not really sure what to expect from those guys on June the 12th. But PAX East was also a pretty dope event. I don't too much have any content or too much to really say about that event. Shout out to the big bro Hip Hop Gamer and a bunch of the guys over at Dragons Den podcast. You know what I'm saying? They went there, and amazing content. I appreciate those guys for sharing their moments and vibes. But PAX East was pretty dope. A lot of games they showed there. You know what I'm saying? The Ninja Turtle game was one that kind of caught my eye. I didn't get a chance to really check out a lot of stuff that they was really kind of showing there, but AMD did their thing with a bunch of things also. But I'm more hyped for Summer's Games Fest. I'm gonna really pay that one some attention, because now we don't have E3. It's like, okay, PAX East was like, okay, we're gonna make up a little bit since we're not having E3 this year. We're gonna make up a little bit. We're gonna do our thing, but it's not too much. So I think the Summer's Game Fest, when that happened in June, I think that's going to be the big thing that's going to, show us a lot of stuff, and a lot of things going to be popping off in the air. Speaking of popping off in the air, we got Avatar. Avatar dropping a new movie. We finally got the title of the name, The Weight of the Water. Now remember, guys, there was an Avatar game that's also in the making too. Now listen. The graphics on this new Avatar look amazing. And seeing that this trailer, The Way of the Water, I thought it was a freaking game. I was like, oh, that's the new game. Oh, we got more details of the new game. It's the freaking movie. So I say that to say, maybe if we can get an Avatar movie release with the game followed up, you know how they did. Perfect example. You know how they did the Uncharted with PlayStation. We got the Uncharted remastered. They dropped it for the console PS5 remastered, and then they dropped the Uncharted movie. So if they can time that right to where we get the Avatar movie and then get the game release back to back like that, I think that'd be great for marketing and really great for Disney and Avatar fans all together, because you want to keep it fresh, and not only keep it fresh on our mind, but also since games and movies in these genres of worlds have been doing really, really well, I think this would be a great opportunity for Avatar to really hop on it, because like I said, keep it fresh in our ears and minds and thoughts. Then we get to play through these amazing worlds. Now, the only thing about that, back in the day when they did like the Spider-Man movie, then the Spider-Man game release, and a lot of times the game followed the movie so close to where it seemed like it's repetitive almost, and you get to a sense of point to where you like, I don't really want to play through the movie, and since I already seen the movie, the game is kind of just like the movie almost. It's really similar, but they kind of got away with that, I felt like, with Uncharted, the movie that just released, you know what I'm saying, which is another perfect example. Uncharted movie follow a lot of the game, but it's still on its own little trajectory type deal. And I feel like if Avatar can pull off something to where we get the movie and we have details or little small structures that's in the movie that's passing off in the game, I think would actually be perfect, to where it'd be great for marketing, because we're playing our favorite Avatar character and we're experiencing and immersed in this Avatar world, you know what I'm saying? And it's still fresh in our minds and it's still fresh in our thoughts. And we want to just be an Avatar for a day or two. But I doubt if that happened, because I think the development on the Avatar game is like way out. So maybe just a hope, but just something to talk about. Moving on, man. So this whole thing about the PS5 backwards capability, PS1, 2, 3. Shout out to the big bro hip hop gamer. You gotta give him his flowers when he's right. He's right. You know what I'm saying? He spoke about this situation to where PlayStation will soon be able to play a lot of these backwards capability games, even on the disc. He spoke about this 2 years ago, yo. So yeah, I know how. Yeah, I already know my thoughts about it. I spoke on last podcast. But hey, you know. Let's not to mention also, man, I predicted a lot of this stuff years ago. You feel what I'm saying? With a lot of these gaming things and events that's popping off. You know what I'm saying? So to see that, like when I first got my PS5, I was like, yo, I put a PS3 disc in here, and you can almost hear a lot of times when you put a disc that's in these consoles that, I already gave a broke down of the story, but it's just a quick glimpse of the story. When you put an old disc in these consoles, you can tell like it'll start spinning and it'll just like make weird noises. The PS5 didn't make those weird noises. It started loading up the disc and was like, oh, wait a minute, it's not time for me to read this. That's the sense I got from it. But coming from like Nintendo homebrew days, jailbreaking Nintendo consoles or whatnot, I'm seeing that, yo, if you jailbreak this PS5, there's a possibility that this hardware that's in this box can play these older games. So it's not going to be a surprise that when, on down the road, when PS5 will be able to play PS1, PS2, PS3 games, it's not going to be a surprise, especially when they're able to, the ability to upscale these games and make them look better. That's not really a surprise to me, but that was just more of a prediction I had before the PS5 even came out, type deal. So to see it coming true and to read about it and to hear it, and they actually came out and said it, and then, on down the road before this stuff 2 years ago, hearing Hip Hop Gamer spoke about it, was like, he's one of the chosen few in the game that knows some of this stuff, man. He's just well connected too. But just to see that a lot of this stuff come about, it's like, yo, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? So I'm appreciative of it, because y'all know how I feel about backwards capability. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation with the games, the characters, the history, the catalog. They gotta make this stuff backwards capability, man. And for us that have the database of these discs already on deck, give us the opportunity to do this. But at the same time, from the business standpoint, I see where, they probably, there's an opportunity for Sony to, if they cut it to where people that have the disc and it don't work for them, versus some type of marketing plan to where they say, hey, if you don't have the disc, we can, still issue a service plan or whatever, but, they're going to probably be out there for the market existing. But for the gamers, I feel like they should just open it up all the way. If you got a disc, an old game or old disc, put it in your PS5 and play it. No charge. That's just for the gamer's perspective. But for the business standpoint, I can see them not really, complying with that. So, hey, it's a thing. But I'm happy to see it. I'm pumped to see it, especially if they upscale the graphics on a lot of these games. I mean, bro, think about it. We're now getting a Max Payne remake, but just thinking about games I think I spoke about before, like Midnight Club, Driver, the old Grand Theft Autos, even though we got a remake of Grand Theft Autos out now, you know what I'm saying? And see, that's another thing. That's another conversation to kind of break off too with someone else too. Just think about the fact that how we got the Grand Theft Auto remakes. So remember, before the remake, we got the remastered versions. They just basically, they all come together. You can play them on the PS4 or whatnot. Then the PS5 came out. We got the remake version. Now it's upscale graphics, and this stuff is like running apparently in like 2K or whatever. Upscale, story and everything's still the same, but the graphics is like totally done over. Everything is like redone over. Dope, pretty dope. But with in the back of mind, knowing that PS5 2 years, 3 years on down the road will be backwards capability for older games, and it'll upscale it. Well, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of releasing a game like GTA that was like a remake? You know what I'm saying? So, just a theory of a conversation we can kind of have on another podcast spin-off episode. But it's something to really think about. Think about all these games that's being remastered, remade, and 2-3 years down the road, we'll be able to play these old games if we still have the old disc, and they upscale the graphics, and they look just as good as the remake and the remaster. So why pay for the remaster and the remake, and now 3 years later we can play it on our disc backwards capability because y'all sent out a firmware update with this hardware? Because essentially it boils down to hardware, but they send out a firmware update or whatever, and now we can play this stuff. Really? That's what it's probably going to come down to. And especially, the only reason I say that is if they do that and is able to upscale these games, like really upscale these games. Like I'm talking about, if I'm able to put an old PS3 game into this PS5, let's say old GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and it upscaled this game. I doubt it, but it upscaled this game to the point to where it looks better than the remake that came out last year. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. But I doubt if that happened. But it's a lot of classic games I can see really being utilizing that upscale capability. I mean, shoot. Think about it. It's a couple games. Oh man, I hate they're not coming to me right now. But it's a couple old PS3 games. Final Fantasy X, one of my favorite games. Upscale that joint, PlayStation. What's up? Speaking of Square Enix, we're going to jump into them in a little bit too. Final Fantasy, you know what I'm saying, 10. Like, amazing. You know what I'm saying? I can see that upscaling, you know what I'm saying, for PS5. Shoot, it's a couple other games, man. It's so many games to really name. Like, shoot, even some of the Kingdom Hearts games, you know what I'm saying? Tony Hawk games, the old Tony Hawk Underground, Road Rage. I could be all day naming games, man. But it's a couple games that I can see that's classic, PlayStation catalog, not necessarily exclusive, but just some classic games that we used to play on PS1, PS2, PS3, and really being upscaled. You know what I'm saying? Pretty dope. Moving on, man. So we got the next Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. So apparently they say that, this next Call of Duty game that's coming out, Modern Warfare 2, is going to be the most advanced Call of Duty ever made type deal. They usually say something like that every time a new Call of Duty come out. This is going to be the most exciting Call of Duty of all time. This is going to be the best graphical Call of Duty of all time. The most researched or whatever. But they saying this one is the most advanced Call of Duty that they've ever made. We didn't get any previews or anything yet. But again, that's where Summer Game Fest come into play, because we may see games like Modern Warfare 2. We may get a sneak peek of that. We may end up seeing a sneak peek of God of War. The new God of War is dropping. Like I just said, Bethesda early on in the show got something popping off. So mid-May, June is going to be an exciting month for gaming, because there's going to be a lot going on. GTA 6. I got GTA 6 on the board because I was going to speak about it on something. I think it started trending on Twitter because I think something, I think Rockstar, I didn't write it on the board, but Rockstar, basically they announced that I think they was planning on releasing like 20 games or something from this year to I think like next year or whatever. They had got a whole game roster of games they're working on, ready to release, and GTA 6 is part of that. So we may be getting GTA 6, at least maybe a preview. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a GTA 6 preview at Game Awards. Game Awards usually is at the end of this year, November, December, if I'm not mistaken. So I can see us getting a preview of GTA 6 in December. If we get a snippet during the Summer Game Fest, that's gonna blow everyone out the water. But I doubt that. But because a game like that is gonna be so big. But I will say I want to speak about GTA 6 for a second. GTA 6 is an opportunity in the spotlight to really do something great in gaming. And even a game like The Sims also. The Sims, Grand Theft Auto 6, these are two games, and even the next Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. These three particular games is in a real nice, sweet spot right now. And the reason I say that, that's going to lead me into my conversation of pay to play. The reason I say that is the fact that with the Web3 technology and how cryptocurrency and everything is going in this economy, and the fact that pay to play is becoming a big thing, and it's the future. You did feel what I'm saying, in gaming and in tech. So if Modern Warfare 2 can somehow integrate a pay to play system within this next Call of Duty game, the break that Call of Duty is talking about taking, go ahead, take your break. That's fine. Take your break, because now we got pay to play integrated into Modern Warfare 2, especially if they come correct, especially if they give us a zombie mode, especially if they give us a survival mode and a story mode. You know what I'm saying? Not so much, what do you mean pay to play even in the story mode? Not everyone beats the story. Not everyone that buy these games are great gamers. So these different game modes, Call of Duty already capitalized off a lot of this stuff anyway, in-game transactions. So if you integrate NFTs and pay to play into a global house game like Call of Duty, you're talking about massive immersion and massive numbers. Going down to my next point of Grand Theft Auto 6. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for at least 10 to 15 years. So the next Grand Theft Auto, GTA 6, they're talking about going from San Andreas, or let's just say LA, to Miami to New York. Going from these three different worlds. We know it's possible with the technology, because think of Ratchet and Clank. The way you're able to, like, the game load up, and the way you're able to transition in and out of these worlds so fast, and load speed is so great. GTA 6, of course I can see us going from 3 different worlds or whatnot. That's easy. Now, GTA Online and integrating a pay-to-play system with GTA 6, massive. Because you're setting up a game that has the potential to run a whole nother 10 years. So if you're in the position to where pay to play is integrated within the first 3 years of a massive powerhouse game like Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto 6, and The Sims, you have the opportunity to really capitalize and to really be the leaders of pay to play in a global scale of gaming. Going to The Sims. The Sims have a lot of like wearable, they can integrate wearables and different NFTs and different Sims is more of a sandbox game, but if they take it to a particular spot to where they really utilize the in-game transaction and the pay-to-play blockchain system, integrating these things into these games can really set the tone for the next games to come about that's going to be open world. So for a game like Saints Row is coming out this year, I think in August. But if GTA announced, hey, we're integrating the blockchain pay-to-play integration on our game, the sales on Saints Row, they're not going to be the same. They're not going to be the same. I can guarantee you that. Versus if GTA say they don't come out and say anything about it, then cool. But the minute you integrate something like, you know what I'm saying, pay to play into a global house game, it's gonna shut down the competition. It's gonna shut it down. I'm not saying Saints Row is gonna be a game that just, you know, come out and it just come and go, but announcing that a game this big of a scale is integrating a pay-to-play system, blockchain technology into their game can be massive and is a great opportunity to really capitalize, especially on our genre of gamers right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with The Sims, wearable content, the homes and things you can build in there. Maybe The Sims need some type of metaverse to where the land that you can purchase. So The Sims is like this. It's already a sandbox game. Within this sandbox game, you can break down these worlds or whatnot. This is just a futuristic pitch. Tell Sims the leaders to come on and sit at the table. Let's set the meat. So you're in a sandbox world. You can break down some of these worlds, typically how they got the Sims DLCs and or whatnot. You can break down some of these worlds into where people that pay for the game or you can even give out free land and people auction off their stuff within these homes. You already giving us the stuff to build our homes. People are already modding their Sims or whatnot, doing different mods and things. So if you integrate a system like pay to play and wearables and NFTs, and we can create furniture and sell our furniture and move back and forth on the blockchain with our material and in-game transactions, listen, that's a massive adoption. That's going to be great for gamers and great for the industry. So the minute that's into play, I think, because you're looking at Sims, the Sims, last time they dropped a new game was maybe, 2016, 2017? I'm not sure. But you're looking at a game that don't release every year like a Madden or a 2K or whatever. You're looking at a game that once it released, they stand on the shelf for at least 4 or 5 years. So something doing this pivotal moment that we are at with Web 2.0, 2.5, and Web 3.0, this is a great moment to where pay to play and games like this that's releasing on a scale can be very, very, words just can't find the excitement, but you get the picture of what I'm putting down. You picking it up, right? All right, let's move on. We got a new Mortal Kombat coming out 2023, folks. And guess what? It's using a whole new engine. And it's going to be another reboot. Now, I'm not sure why they keep doing a reboot or whatnot, because honestly, the last Mortal Kombat series, story mode was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Pretty dope. The graphics was amazing. So I'm interested to see. It's coming out 2023. And by them running a new engine, story reboot with new characters, I'm, kind of interested to see where they go with it. I thought they was gonna keep the same story and kind of, the next Mortal Kombat that come out, they's probably gonna, go on boost from the movie sales because I rumors that they got another Mortal Kombat movie coming out. So, we'll see. We'll see. It's a reboot we got coming. Keep an eye open for Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is a game that's made by Ubisoft. And listen, if it's anything like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Skull and Bones is going to be a game that you don't want to sleep on. But Skull and Bones is one of those games that, you know what I'm saying, I kind of forgot about, but they're still, they kind of kept it under hush a little bit, but we see it every now and then, like the old trailers from last year E3 or whatnot. But, you know what I'm saying, I seen a recent one of it, like, yo, if it's set up anything like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, they got a chance to really like do something with that game, and I'm hoping that it do something really dope. I'm hoping for. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with Skulls and Bones because it got pushed back. I heard they had all type of issues with it, but I don't know. I'm excited for it. I want to speak about Square Enix for a little bit before I get out of here too. So what's going on with Square Enix? I didn't get a chance to really read the full article of what's going on basically with it, but essentially what Square Enix is doing, they're selling off some of their assets, and what they're doing, it's not necessarily a bad idea, but it got you wondering to the fact to where it's like, okay, a company as big as Square Enix, they're selling off some pretty decent assets. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think the deal went by for like $300 million or something like that. That's a lot. But is it really a lot? And one of their biggest assets is, of course, Final Fantasy. They didn't sell that, of course. I think it was just typically the Western division of Square Enix. But they kind of put it in the question to where if these guys are selling off their assets, why? Are they like, why? You know what I'm saying? It really make you wonder. So my conclusion is they sell off some of these assets, which takes the value down on Square Enix as a global corporation altogether, which opens the opportunity for Sony to come in and say, hey, Square Enix, you ready to sign those papers now? That's the opportunity for Sony to come in and buy Square Enix. That's one concept. Two, they need the money to finish working on other projects like the new Final Fantasy that's dropping. Final Fantasy VII Part 2, remember? New Kingdom Hearts is working. So would they sell these assets? Why do they do that for the $300 million? I'm not sure. I think it's really to open the door to lower the value down on the company so Sony can come in and just buy them up and add them under the umbrella. Because if Sony, the next big purchase that Sony's going to make, the three people in the room, Capcom, Square Enix, and it was someone else. I can't remember. It was someone else that potentially that was on the list for Sony who can get bought next. And by Square Enix making this decision, I feel like gives Sony the perfect opportunity to come in and snatch them on up. Now, if Xbox snatch these guys up, I'm going to have to come in and do an emergency podcast. For real, man. But before I go to get out of here, we're going to get ready to close out the show. Before I get out of here, too, shout out to everyone at Connect.club. Be sure to connect with me at Connect.club. Got a lot of new things popping off over there, man. We're going to doing some spin-off episodes of the podcast, new podcast ventures, and probably even doing the podcast in the metaverse. Those are things I've been kind of speaking about on previous episodes of the podcast. But Anchor friend get ready to kick me out of here, but be sure to follow me everywhere. Master23Mind. You see it in the background for all the video viewers, YouTube viewers here, and for the podcast people, y'all be sure to check me out on YouTube. Mastermind RGTV. That's at YouTube, and Real Gamer on all podcast platforms, and Master23Mind on all platforms, including Twitch, is where we're gaming at. You know what I'm saying? we're gonna be on YouTube also doing some exciting things. We got a lot of stuff cooking down the pipeline, man. We got new music behind the scenes. We got a lot of stuff cooking. Yeah, and Anchor just kicked me out of here, but hey, YouTube get some special things behind the scenes, man. But we got a lot of stuff kicking off, man. Y'all stay rocking with your boy, and we're gonna keep on cooking, man. I had some more stuff on this board I wanted to talk about, but I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for the next episode of the podcast. And love is love, man. And we out. Game on.